I was totally a grumpy old man. When I got my Teeter, that's when it all changed for me. And the more I worked my back, the more relief my back gave me. And that's when I knew that this machine really works. It's so simple and yet so effective. If it wasn't for the Teeter, I wouldn't be the person I am today. It put the smile back on my face. If I was face to face with Roger Teeter, I would cry like a baby because what he gave me was my life back. And I thank him. I thank him for that.
You can just tell me in person.
Oh, God. Thank you, sir. I didn't know you were going to be here.
I love my job, and it's because of testimonies like yours. I wrecked my back, and Inversion changed my life. This is not a gimmick. We're not just selling product. We're selling a changed lifestyle.
Yes.
So many people have written off their ability to move freely because of old age. No, it's the long-term effects of gravity combined with lifestyle, posture, and a whole lot of other things. Teeter's a way to fight back against that.
I can't thank you enough.
It is the way to fight back. And by the way, Horace is not alone. 2.5 million users worldwide. And by the way, when we talk about, and we're going to walk into a lot of detail for you, but how about this as a customer pick? 4.7 stars, 334 reviews, 277 a perfect 5-star. And guess what? Longest running piece of fitness equipment here at HSN, launched over 21 years ago. Well, you have come to the right place. And if you have been on the fence, and I will tell you, I've had the pleasure of being with Roger since day one. I just bought mine about 6 months ago. I don't know what took me so long, so maybe you're like me. Let me tell you, this needs to be the hour. We're going to walk through and let you know how you can make one purchase today that absolutely, as Horace said, will change the way you're going to feel every day. But what is different? There's some really important factors. Number one, FDA registered, cleared as a medical device. And here we're going to show you a couple of those stills right on the screen. This is so important. And when we talk about that, look at the following conditions that millions of people can relate to. Back pain, sciatica, spinal degenerative joint disease, spinal curvature due to tight muscles, muscle tension, herniated disc, degenerative disc disease, spinal stenosis, facet syndrome, muscle spasm, if you can relate to any of those. Not only that, but UL safety listed and safety certified. And this is so important because I started to do a little bit of comparison shopping out there, and you will be shocked at how many of the inversion tables out there are not UL listed. And then it's even better. We don't give you a 6-month or a month, 1 month or a 1 year. It is a 5-year warranty. And then I love this part. Comes to your home 85% assembled. So if you can relate to any of the issues, or whether it is just the fact that, my gosh, you get up in the morning and every morning it takes you a little bit longer to get out of bed, or you're finding your life compromised, we have the solution for you today with the FitSpine, and we're going to walk you through how this has changed over the years to know that you're getting first of all, when we talk about the value that we have on this today, because it's $120 off, which I want to stress, this is the last day of the visit for Roger, but you're getting also a unit today that basically at the market, same price without all of the upgrades that we've done over the years and all of the additional attachments that you're getting with it. And my pleasure, of course, to welcome the man himself, Mr. Roger Teeter. How are you, handsome?
Fantastic,
It's so
Bobby
nice
Ray.
to have
I'm
you
doing
here.
great. I love coming to HSN. You know, this has been one of my absolute favorite places. That's why we put together such a good deals.
I know, and it is such a great deal.
But you know, look, this changes lives. 3 to 5 minutes. You might have seen me in full inversion. You don't need to go to full inversion. I do because that's what I like to do. And many of you will too, because being upside down is just as comfortable as being at your desk once you get used to it. But only 3 to 5 minutes. It deals with the problem at the cause. You know, when you have back pain, you don't have a lot of options. And most of the options, Bobby Ray, deal with symptoms. They don't deal with the problem. Your back's still screaming. You just can't hear it now. What good is that? Teeter deals with the problem naturally at the source. 3 to 5 minutes, and you don't need to go to full inversion.
And we want to hear from you. I have to tell you, we would love this hour to be the hour where we are flooded with your calls. I do believe we're going to be streaming live on Facebook. I think, so we'll let you know. Yes, we are. I'm going to go in a minute and grab the iPad, so give us a call as well. Share your story. We are also going to ship it to you for free. And then let's talk about FlexPay, that you have the chance to get the newest, most advanced, top-of-the-line version home at a price of $54.99 on any credit card, debit card, PayPal, and that is without any interest whatsoever. And trust me, it will be the best purchase that you could possibly make, because this is the most advanced of any of the tables that we've ever offered.
Absolutely, and in fact, this year, it's been changed so much that we gave it a new name and a new look, new colors, because we listened to you. And here's what we were listening to. You said, on your testimonies, you said, this table is so great functionally, but I just wish it was a little more comfortable. You know, well, you cannot put padding on an inversion table that is foam, because your body needs to slide. It's decompression. That's the magic. You will elongate 1 to 2 inches. That's the secret about why Teeter can benefit those 10 different kinds of back pain problems that FDA says Teeter is cleared for. It's because it relieves back pain 4 different ways. The big one is decompression. That is the body elongating. You got a pinched nerve, take the pressure off. Less pressure is less pain. When you decompress the spine, if there's a misalignment, it straightens out. It stretches and relaxes paraspinal muscles and helps the disc to rehydrate, to rejuvenate. So what did we do to engineer a new product that was comfortable without adding foam? Well, it was a big job. If you can see, we see this from the side, I don't know. We lifted the bed off. This is the frame. This is the bed used to be attached directly to the steel frame. Now it's almost 3 inches above the bed frame, and it's mounted on 8 suspension points, which are small rubber balls. This is a floating suspension system, and when you sit on it, it is just like a cloud. You just sink into it. And what's more, we have a bonus, and when you're up and moving around, it moves with you. So that's the reason for the big change. But so many upgrades. This easy reach handle, that's a $100 upgrade alone. It was actually designed for our clinical product. And these ankle pads, ergonomically shaped. It's actually a 3rd generation. We have the hard backing, which gives you the support, and then a 1/2 inch of foam, ergonomically shaped to fit your ankle. It's super comfortable. These foot platform dowels, that's small shoes, big shoes. It's adjustable from 4'8" to 6'6", and your height in inches and centimeters is right in the main shaft.
Easy to see.
Yeah, we have the color-coded strap that allows you to preset maximum angle. Let's say you don't need to go beyond this angle. In fact, you don't even need to go that far to start getting major benefits. But this strap allows you to stop at any angle you're comfortable with. Oversized handles, traction handles.
They used to be separate. Remember?
These all used to be separate.
Right, that's exactly right. You're right, Roger.
Right, the traction handles were like $30. Like the oversized handles were $70, all included. Of course, the lumbar bridge, and that can be positioned in any place, and that keeps the curvature in the back.
I like that. That's a good feature, because we bought this also. My husband had been in a motorcycle accident. I was telling Roger, and it's made a huge difference for him. But I love this, because then I can move it. I'm obviously way shorter than he is, but you can put it anywhere, just where
anywhere
you
want. And you know, there's something, Bobby, that it's just so special. By setting it low, you know, not in the middle of your curvature, but setting it low, it kind of grabs your butt and squares your hips before you start decompressing. So that's a real plus. So
put it lower, so it's better to put it...
Yeah, for me, I think it's square. I mean, when you go to a chiropractor, the first thing you do is check your hips for alignment.
Exactly.
And so this will align your hips and then start the traction. Acupressure nodes, there's 8 of them.
Love.
Little wing nuts, 2 of each of 4 sizes, and they can go on any of these slots, and that's that's the thumbs that you need to get those knots and lining them up. And the traction handles are a huge plus, because they allow you to decompress the body as though you were in full inversion without going beyond 20, 25 degrees.
Which is great. I like that, because I don't go all the way. Hi, beautiful Riley.
My daughter here, she can give you a quick demonstration of how the traction handles work.
Well, you can see I'm going to a shallow angle, not inverting too far, but I'm able to reach up and push on these handles, and I'm adding manual traction, and it's furthering the stretch in my back as if I was in full inversion. You can actually see my body lengthen as I push, and the table move further into inversion because I'm lengthening and the weight's going this way. But if you set the tether strap, it'll lock at whatever point you feel comfortable.
I love that, because that's exactly what I do, because I just can't, you know, go all the way to full inversion. So I love to do that, because then you do get the added benefit of it as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is great.
Okay, so if you're using it, I've got it set for my height. Step in, and now this ratchet has micro adjustments. You don't need to use the button. The button is to release it. You just pull it, now you can hear those clicks, micro adjustments, and the foot pads rotate and clamp. The idea with the Teeter is to get this pivot point at your center of mass so that you have equal weight on both sides, and then it works like a teeter-totter.
Exactly.
Named after
Hence the
me.
name, of course.
Okay, so, you know, as I move arm weight headward, of course, it rotates. This table is rotating solely on the weight of one arm. Now, if that responsiveness is scary to you, well, that's what these oversized handles are for, these upgraded handles. They are like training wheels on a bicycle. You could just walk yourself back with ease, or you could have one hand on the oversized handles and use the weight of the arm to actually control. Teeter is precision balance, and it's you'll have total control. Benefits, again, starting right here. Stress relief, posture correction, improved flexibility, stretching and relaxing, increased circulation, helping you keep your original body shape. There's so many other benefits from decompression besides just relieving pain of all weight-bearing joints, not just the back, ankles, knees, hips. In fact, every joint, listen to this, every joint is being decompressed by exactly the same weight it has to carry. So the small joints in the neck are being decompressed by the weight of the head. I mean, it's all totally logical. Okay, here's you inverting. Now, here you are, those stressed out shoulder muscles. That's the first thing you're gonna feel. And as they let go, I mean, that can be a cause of back pain, but as they let go, you're going to elongate. You'll see the spine straightening out there. See a little bit of straightening, that can be a problem. But here's the biggest deal of all, decompression. Look at those joints opening up. You have a pinched nerve, take the pressure off. I mean, it's straightforward mechanical fix. Now, if you can use the traction handles, but if you don't want to have the extra arm work, you know, gradually work up to this angle. You know you're there because of this grip, this hand grip here, and that's kind of the magic angle where your own body weight is enough to elongate you that 1 to 2 inches. And it just feels so good, and you can pull and push yourself back into shape with this grip. Full inversion, you don't need to go here.
Wow.
But believe it or not, many of you will because of the extra freedom. Because with your new elongated body, you'll be able to do things that you haven't been able to do. And one last point, and I know this isn't for everybody, but maybe somebody in the family wants to do some core work, well, you can turn the Teeter into a workout station. This is the toughest crunch on the planet.
Amazing.
Inverted squats, sculpt the glutes, strengthen the hamstrings. You know, when you're over 80 like I am, it's functional fitness that counts.
I'm glad you shared your age, because people are going, what?
Yeah, 81 this year. Wow.
Over 80 years old. But you know what? You've said to me for over 21 years that, I love this man, that you really got your life back thanks to inversion.
You know, my testimony, that's why I love, you know, the testimonies that we heard at the beginning. I wrecked my back. I wrecked my back, and 40 years ago, when I say wrecked on worst days, I couldn't get out of bed. I had to crawl hands and knees into the shower to get hot water on my back just to be able to stand up. I tried everything to get relief. Nothing really worked until I found inversion.
Wow.
You know, but the relief I got was temporary, but it lasted longer and it was more effective than anything else I'd done. And by doing it on a regular basis, I've been virtually pain-free for 37 years.
And you know what's crazy about this? That people don't realize this is 3 to 5 minutes a day.
Yeah.
think about that. I mean, because you think of all the things that you need to do maybe in the world of fitness that involve, you know, getting dressed, going to the gym, working out for an hour or 45 minutes. This is 3 to 5 minutes a day to get relief.
Invert while you're boiling an egg.
Yeah, exactly.
How about making a cup of tea, brushing your teeth? It really isn't longer than that. And in fact, if you really have some of the serious issues like sciatica or herniated disc, you're going to need to have extra decompression, use the traction handles, work up to the greater angle, but better to do several short sessions. You know, I think, oh, I've got a problem. Men do this.
Yeah.
Oh, 3 to 5 minutes, I'll hang 15. Oh. Now, look, listen to your body. You can hang longer if you're totally relaxed and comfortable, but the job's done in 3 to 5 minutes, and better to have several short sessions than a long one.
Yeah, exactly. So we have some amazing doctor testimonials also that we'd love to share with everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, Donlin Long, the second doctor, I'm so honored because he is world famous. He was a head of neurosurgery at a very large university in the United States for 35 years, and he is known worldwide. He uses the Teeter in his private practice and uses it personally. You can check him out on the internet.
Here we go. Take a listen.
So when you decompress, there is a lengthening of the spine. And by doing so, with a greater disc height, you've got more room for the nerves. There's less compression with the facet joints. And the spine is just much happier.
For the past 53 years, I've been a neurosurgeon with a major interest in chronic pain and dealing with many patients with back pain. Most patients tell me if they use their Teeter inversion table on a regular basis, they simply feel much better. No one has to do anything to you, and I think it's a very natural way to deal with the problem.
I love hearing testimonials like that, though.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah,
incredible
you had a
confidence.
question on that?
We did. We had a question from Bernice, and I'm assuming I'm going to direct this one to Miss Riley. I need the neck piece. Can I use this on the little older version that I just paid off?
Okay, yes. So by little older, that means she probably has the 970, which it also has holes in the bed.
Right,
So
that was the
as
version we did
long
right
as-
before this, right?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
So if you have one of the beds that was right at the very beginning and
Yeah.
it's a nylon bed, then no, there are not the places to slide the Velcro through. You can still line it up because your body weight is on it, but it is better if you do have the holes. I will say, this works great on the floor as well.
Okay.
So
Oh,
what
good.
this is suboccipital release. So if anybody has those tech necks, which all of us do, right?
Anymore, yes.
And that tension in the neck or the head forward posture, what you do is you put this at the very base of the skull, the very, very top of the neck. And it's on those 4 muscles that control the tilting of the head. And what it does is, much like the acupressure nodes, it goes into those tense muscles. And initially, it's a very intense feeling until the tension melts away.
Gosh, my producer, Pat, said he has that one, also does use it on the floor. Which, by the way, we're running on all the item numbers for all of the the companion pieces that we have to go right along with it, the mat, you name it. But that's a great point to it. And, you know, when we talk about this unit, I mean, this, just to put it in perspective for everyone, because this is, again, the last day, this is the most advanced unit. And I started off by mentioning 4 things that are really so important that a lot of us maybe don't think about when we're buying Inversion. Number 1, that it is FDA classified, registered as a medical device, which is so important.
Teeter is the
right?
only brand that's
You are the only one.
brand that is FDA registered
realize
as a
that.
Class 1 medical device and indicated for these 10 different things. And there's some serious ones, the sciatica, herniated disc, degenerative joint disease. By the way, that's the same as osteoarthritis, just another name. So there are 10 different things. And a lot of people say, well, those are caused by a wide variety of conditions. That's correct. But Teeter is indicated for all of them because it relieves back pain 4 different ways. Decompression being the big thing. When you decompress, you take the pressure off a pinched nerve. If you have a misalignment, when it's decompressed, spine is naturally going to realign itself. It wants to realign itself. It's stretching and relaxing paraspinal muscles. You are going to lengthen 1 to 2 inches,
Well,
Bobby.
and that's good, even if we can just get back some of our original height.
Or not
right?
lose it.
Or not
You know,
lose it, yes, let me
because
keep it.
gravity's not kind to the human body, you know, and it helps those discs to rejuvenate and keep and add moisture content. And of
Lubricated,
course, when
right.
you lose height, that's where you're losing the height. It's in the disc. We're going to hear from Dr. Tantz later about daily height loss, which reverses overnight, but then the big one, the permanent height loss, which steals your figure, your flexibility, your ability to have a life in retirement. But there's a way to fight back.
Because that's something, can we talk? I mean, seriously, that's what this is all about, right? I mean, you know, we're aging, we're living longer, right? And it is about quality of life, right? I mean, you still want to be able to, like you said, you talked about skiing, because that's your favorite pastime. You're out there water skiing with your grandkids.
Yeah, no, that's, I'm putting the boat in next week. Can't wait for it. In fact, this week, it's Sunday.
Yes,
this
exactly.
Is Sunday. All right. Well, this is recreational skiing. I love the slalom course, and that's tough.
Yeah.
But it's teaching these guys to ski. My grandkids, you know, I got them both up on skis, both snow and water, and that's precious. Just being able to do the things that I love to do with them, not sit in the boat and say, this is what I used to do.
Right.
No, it's having a life in retirement. Anyways, next week. In fact,
This week,
day after tomorrow.
exactly. That's what it's all about. Or, you know, maybe if it's just, you just would like to be able to get up and be able to walk the dog, or, you know, right? I mean, little things make such a big difference.
Absolutely. You know, I'll give you the recipe for back pain. You wonder why it's such a problem today, and it is a problem. Too much sitting. Every successful society has had this problem. Too much sitting, weak muscles, and stress. And you know what? Those things compound each other. I want you to understand this. Let's say you've got back pain. You go to the doctor. One of the things he or she's going to say is, you know, we need to strengthen those back muscles. And you say, you want me to exercise? My back's killing me. Or even if your back at the moment isn't bothering you, but you know you've just had bouts, you don't want to exercise because it could kick off another bout. And yet those muscles which support the back are getting weaker, and that means they've got less support to prevent another injury. What's
Vicious
the
cycle.
fix? Flip that circle on its head. On the teeter, invert, get rid of the back pain, and by doing it on a regular basis, you're going to build up a reserve so that you'll have more resistance. And by the way, when you use the teeter, you are strengthening the muscles, especially if you oscillate. That is rocking back and forth. You load the muscles in one direction and then the other direction. That strengthens the muscles right there. But then after inversion and relaxing, like you're seeing on this animation, decompression and stretching those muscles, and you're going to get off that table and you're going to say, wow, my back pain, yeah, I feel, but you know what? I've got more range of motion.
Right.
I'm standing taller. I'm feeling, I think I can exercise.
Yeah, I can swing that golf club, right?
In fact, if you want to know what flexibility, the teeter can do for flexibility, get on the internet and check golf and inversion, an independent study that showed for the 16 people on the study that 1 month of inversion, they reduced their shots per game 3 on average,
It's
and
astonishing.
improved accuracy in distance for all clubs.
But you're right, that is complete range of motion, right?
Yeah, that's just
Listen, even if it's pickleball, that's my new favorite, right? I mean, you want to be able to get out there and move more, feel
how about picking up your grandkids?
Exactly.
How about gardening? We all need flexibility. Teeter can give you that temporary
Teeter can give it
improvement
to you.
of
And listen, I
flexibility.
want to go back to just remind everyone as you're watching today, first and foremost, you see the words customer pick up there. Not only is this a customer pick, do you know that Roger, first of all, bring us the longest running piece of fitness equipment with the inversion table. That is 21 years here at HSN. And it's not just a customer pick. It's 4.7 stars, 334 reviews, but 277 of them are perfect 5-star review. And this is where I always like to tell people, we don't filter them, we don't throw out the bad reviews and just keep the good ones. You love it. It made a difference. And I will tell you, it is so awe-inspiring to read some of those testimonials online, and I'm gonna share some of them with you in a minute. They make you feel great. And I know that there is something in there that pretty much all of us can relate to. And know that today that you are getting the most advanced version and $120 off, but it's not just $120 off that's important. You are looking at all the bells and whistles. All the upgrades that we used to sell you separately are now included in the FitSpine, and we'll walk you through from top to bottom. But you have an opportunity to make one purchase today for $54.99, and that again is on any credit card, debit card, PayPal. There's no interest whatsoever, FlexPay. And the fact that you also have the chance to know that it's not going to take hours out of your day. But I keep reiterating that it's like 3 to 5 minutes a day, because what else can you do? Right, Roger, with that?
All you're doing is stretching and relaxing.
Yes,
You're not even doing anything. Gravity's doing the whole workout for you.
Exactly, exactly. So let me read a couple of the reviews for you, which I think are amazing. Here's one from Tom. Best purchase I ever made. That's from Tom in Washington. Here's another one from TCD in Maine. Well built, easy setup, by the way, at 85% assembled. The machine works wonders. I invert right before I go to bed and when I wake up. That's what a lot of us do.
Yeah. It's 2 cups of coffee without the caffeine in the morning. And at night, it's getting rid of stress. Right. You know, get rid of stress, decompress the body, and roll into bed with your, elongated body, yes. Stress-free. It's much easier to go to sleep.
Sue Richardson in Indiana finally bought this as I thought about it for a long time. It helps, as it says. I have recommended it to others. And that is one review that we read so many times. Again, yeah, right? People have thought about it. I said, I even did the same thing. Here's another one from NY Rep in Virginia. I'm a senior citizen, and this is one of the best products I have purchased. Thank you, HSN and Teeter Table.
Yeah, that's it.
It's amazing.
It changes lives. Look, HSN is the proof it changes lives, because at 21 years, if it didn't work, you would have thrown us out of here years ago. And I want to point out something, because I absolutely love being at HSN, because they really are looking after you. Every time that HSN has offered a product with this success, they've often given you a second choice and put on a different model, a different label. Mm-hmm. No other inversion table passes their safety standards. Teeter is the only brand that is UL safety certified, only brand. It is the only brand that is UL listed. And of course, the bonus is a 5-year warranty.
5-year warranty.
Yeah, and 5-year warranty and 85% assembled. I do want to look at some of this UL stuff. Yeah, Underwriters Laboratory, the only reason Teeter is the only one that passes spec is it's tough. Look at 1,200 pounds, 4 times 300-pound maximum user weight. There's the toughest test of all, 300 pounds, cycling 30,000 times. In fact, the ankle locking mechanisms, everything has to be 30,000 times. And you may think that's a lot, but let me go back to what I said earlier about strengthening your back. When you oscillate, when you rock back and forth, you can imagine when you're head down, your muscles are stretched one direction. When they come up, they're moved back and forth. That is an exercise. It improves the strength of the back and helps you, besides the inversion, the big deal is the decompression. Mm-hmm, but the ability to oscillate, well, UL said, if you're gonna oscillate 40, 50 times, we got 30,000 at 300 pounds. Teeter's the only brand that can beat that. And here's the UL stickers to match it. In fact, this CE mark, by the way, this is a special European mark. That small number means it's medical. Teeter meets all the standards of Europe for home use medical. For that matter, Singapore, Japan, Australia, we meet all the standards. Canada, and Teeter is the only brand that can say that.
That's important. Okay, so I have a question from Vicky. Please explain fully how to adjust the height so it doesn't go straight back when you get on it. I've set mine at my height and it goes straight back.
Well, it's a distribution. As I said earlier, the idea is to have half your body weight on each side of this pivot point. Okay. Now, if you've got a bigger upper body, then you've got, you need to lengthen this and adjust it so that your center of mass is at
How do you do that?
Well, that
so you're
would
going to set your height first of all. We'll show you how to do that.
This is
a little lever on the side.
Let's say your height is, just pick a number, 5'7", and you get on it and, oh, you're going back way too easy. If you sit on the table and it starts to do this before you even raise your arms, then you know you're set a little too heavy on the top side.
Okay.
So what you do is get off.
Okay.
Lengthen it 1 or 2 inches.
Oh, I see.
That shifts your weight.
I understand, exactly.
To this side. Okay, that slows it way down.
Right.
And then you find a point. The ideal thing is you adjust the height, and when your arms are at your side, the table would just lift off, about like this. Well, then you know you're right. Now, there is this other adjustment, which is a one-time adjustment on how responsive the table is.
Okay.
And in fact, let's do the assembly thing.
Okay,
because then I can
it.
show you that adjustment.
Okay, perfect.
Because a lot of people think, 85% assembled, what does that mean? All right, this part,
This
fully
part?
assembled out of the box,
Exactly.
comes out. Can you borrow a hand there?
Absolutely.
All right, so the bed, fully assembled out of the box. There are 2 bolts that are packing. They're not really assembly. You'll understand when you see it. Okay, now these hinges, you do have to put those in. They snap in place. But this is a one-time setting. There are 3 holds here. Let's say that you are lightweight, 120 pounds or something. You need to be on the top hold because that's the most responsive setting. But let's say you're 250 pounds or 300. Slow it down. Your own body weight gives you a lot of movement, so we want to slow it down because of your weight. So you go to the lower setting. Well, what I'm setting at here is I happen to be right in the middle setting right now, that's what we're using. But so that's a one-time thing. Got another hand? You don't. No, that's all right. A-frame.
I got you covered.
No, A-frame fully assembled. Also, at least with respect to spreader arms, 4 corner feet, the preset angle strap, all assembled. What have you got to assemble? Okay, you do. These oversized handles, a $70 upgrade bonus, 3 machine screws, 1 bolt. That is your assembly. You literally will spend more time getting it out of the box. Okay, now to answer her question more carefully, if she's, it depends on her weight. She may want to pick a setting to slow the machine down.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I did not realize that also. So maybe that, Vicki.
It's a one-time setting. It's in the DVD. It's in the owner's laminated manual. But almost 99% of the time, it's simply adjusting your height. You know, if you're going back too fast, slow it down by putting more weight on the foot side. And if you're not going back at all, well, then you can shorten it and put more weight on that. But the idea is...
That's a great tip, because that happened with Jerry, my husband, the first time he did it also. So you're right, just drop it down on the height first of all, start there.
Right.
Excellent, I love it. So listen, we should also hear from Dr. Tons, who talks a lot about decompression.
Senior orthopedic surgeon at Trauma One Center in San Diego, has national prominence, and I want you to listen very carefully to 2 points that he talks about, and I'm going to bring them up to you again because it helps you understand why Teeter is so effective.
Here we go.
The discs that sit here are like shock absorbers we have on the car. So when you get up in the morning, you may be 6'1". When you go to bed at night, you're actually about 6'1½". You lose 1/4 to 1/2 inch of height as these shock absorbers get squeezed and the water comes out of them. Then when you're asleep, they rehydrate. One of the advantages, I think, of Roger's device is that you can do this during the day too and give yourself kind of a break from the constant pressure on your back and on these shock absorbers to allow them to rehydrate by taking all the pressure off and letting them have some freedom. People that get on a standard routine and do it again and again do far better than people that go for 3 weeks of therapy and then re-injure again in a year, go for 3 weeks therapy. A daily routine, which is what Roger's recommending, I think is a very good way of getting your back in great shape so that as we stay vertical for our lives, we don't start breaking down later on.
I said, Roger, that's a really good point because you don't think about that but when you have it at home, you have that ability.
Yeah, a maintenance program.
Every day.
And look, we all want to keep our youth, right? And for keeping youthful skin, you have a maintenance program. Right. It's not something you do one time, you do it on a regular basis. Your spine is no different than any other part of your body. A regular program of proper maintenance with the Teeter will help you youthful flexibility and function. And things you can see in the mirror. Better posture. Poor posture is unattractive. And by the way, when you get that extra flexibility and function, then you can start making long strides again.
I love that.
Yeah, well, you do give you weigh your age by how you move.
Oh, you're so right.
Not just on how you look. In fact, you give away your age across the room when you can't even see what you look like. You know, don't be that person. You know,
you don't need to anymore.
Now, Dr. Tons, so maintenance, a maintenance program is a very important, regular use to strengthen the back and give you a reserve against possible injury going forward. The other big thing is daily height loss. Gravity does a number on us. These discs are your fluid-filled shock absorbers, and they're constantly changing their fluid content. When you're sleeping, they're still under some pressure, as we're going to see on an animation later on, but they're on obviously less pressure than when you're upright, so they absorb moisture. And when you get up in the morning, they are thicker and you are taller. Yes, you are the tallest you're going to be all day, but as soon as you're upright, standing or sitting, these discs start losing moisture. You become shorter. That's why your pants are tighter in the afternoon.
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of a compression wrinkle.
Right. I remember, though, the one thing Roger told me years ago, this always stays with me, like when you get in the car, right, and you have the rearview mirror in the morning, and then towards the end of the day, how you have to shift
it down.
It's like, oh, the first time that happened to me, I went, you are so right. I mean, it puts it in perspective. You realize then what's happening to you.
You think you're slouch sitting? No, you're shorter. You are shorter, and you got to adjust the rear mirror down. And the next morning, you adjust it up. You don't even think about it. That's because of the moisture in these discs. Now, that's interesting, but the big deal is the fact that these discs, the height of these discs, control the size of the opening that these nerves come through. So when you have a thin disc, you have a pinched nerve. And that is a big deal. Besides, think about this. All communication from the brain to every other part of your body is through the spinal cord and these individual nerves that go to every part of your body. You pinch one that, say, maybe goes down your leg, you have pain down your leg or down your shoulder. You have compromised the ability of the brain to communicate to the lower body.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's not just pain, it is there's operational issues going on here.
Right.
You know, get the pressure off, and when you invert, you will elongate 1 to 2 inches, and these joints all opening up, they are encouraged to rehydrate, to realign, stretching and relaxing, and that's just the beginning because it's improved flexibility, correcting posture, and helping you keep your original body shape in 3 to 5 minutes.
So Sonia says, I got a Teeter 3 months ago, works like magic. So glad to see you, she says. And also, by the way, Carol said, can you fold it up, and how flat does it go? I have a limited space, I need to put it away after each use.
Absolutely. Well, okay. There's a trick to this, and it's in the video, but you pull the pin, put it all the way up.
Okay.
Now here's the trick. You rotate it opposite of use. Don't try and do it this way. It won't work.
Okay.
Opposite of use, flips around.
Okay.
Like so. Folds up and goes, you know, behind a couch.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
In a
so
closet.
What is that? Maybe 16 inches or something like that?
Yeah, like a big ironing board.
Exactly.
Okay?
That is perfect.
So that's the trick. Fold it all the way up and opposite of use. Opposite of use.
And by the way, Sonia said, I want to call and tell you how much you helped me. Call us. You know, we can pop the number up on the screen because we would love to hear from you. Chris on Facebook going, I'm ending up with too much compression on ruptured disc. Would the Tech neck device help?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I figured that.
But remember, at the top of the neck, base of the spine, don't put it in the neck curvature, right?
Okay.
This is to help elongate the neck when you put it at the top. If you put it right in the middle, it won't feel good.
Yes.
So use it right.
Use it right. And we do have, I know that Pat, my wonderful producer, is popping up all the different numbers for everything on the screen. So pick up that neck piece also if you can to go right along with it. Do I get to get on now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
All right. All right. Okay, so we'll see. Show everybody how to adjust it. What's
Yes,
your height,
do.
Bob?
I am 5. I'm going with 5'5" today.
All right. Today, does it change?
No,
okay, there you
really
are,
5'4"
5'5".
and a half, but
All right,
you
I'm
know.
going to put the preset
Yes, I
angle
always put the
strap.
preset on it
Now,
before I
is
get on too.
Is that comfortable? Okay for you?
I'm probably about here.
All right, we'll change
That's
it.
where I am, where I do at home, but then I use the traction handles like Riley was doing.
Okay.
I like that.
How's that?
I like it.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
I am going to take this off because I know you got mic packs on.
With a mic pack, it doesn't work well, but trust me, when you have it at home, you're gonna love it because it feels great when you get on there. So again,
Okay.
in we go. All right, and I tell you what, I'm like, when I get up in the morning, so push, right, and
Yeah,
it locks.
just-
By the way, whenever you hear that, when you push it back, it just like locks
Did
right
you hear
in.
it? Yeah, you don't need to push the button. It's just,
Yeah, just kind of
click,
touch
click,
it.
click, 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 click. And
All right.
micro adjustment.
Locks
now,
in.
Now, see, you were talking about balance. You see, this is perfect. Her arms are at her side, and the bed is just lifted off. That's that almost guarantees you're in the right balance.
So
point.
if you're starting like this, then you're right.
Then you're right. If you got your hands at your side and you're already upside down, well,
Right.
that's too.
So if that happens, that's when you want to add a little extra length.
That's right.
Love that tip. Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
So.
Back we go. I always go one then the other. Oh my gosh, immediately I can feel such a release.
I'm gonna help you a little bit.
Okay.
For you're a lot lighter weight than me, and if you were doing it on a regular basis, we'd probably put you in the top hole.
The top hole, right.
For responsiveness.
I kind of leave it in the middle when I'm home only because I'm sharing it also with my husband, but you're right, yeah.
Right, but then ideally, there's other ways to compensate. For example, I will set you 1 inch. Did I change that?
Did you went to 5'4"?
Yeah. So
Okay.
that'll give you a.
That's where I should have been in the first place.
A little mix and match, but I
Gotcha.
guarantee you'll get the
It's
perfect
good to know
balance
that though,
point.
isn't it? Oh my gosh, it's so good to know. Oh, it feels so good. It just feels so amazing. You can feel like your whole body release and this kind of like I always refer to as like an oxygen wash. It
Right.
feels amazing.
That's what Colleen says. Every time I come
Really?
up, I feel like I had a facial.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's what it feels like. It feels so great. And then I love having the traction handles to it. I mean, what I'm finding for myself is it's just such, again, like a short period of time. We can convey anything to people at home. It's like, we keep going back to the 3 to 5 minutes and the difference of how you're going to feel. And it almost like it clears up your mind, it clears up your
it's
head.
more oxygen to the brain. I mean, that's what the
Yes.
brain runs on.
Yes.
A little more oxygen,
Sure does.
a little flushed cheeks. It's
Yeah.
great. Extra circulation for the upper body is great for everything up there.
I'm going back again. Just feels so great. I wish everybody watching had the chance to be here in the studio and just try it, because I think that's what you have to do, is just try it to really understand how you feel and what an amazing way it is to start the day and an amazing way to end the day also, right?
Yeah. Well, in the morning, it's 2 cups of coffee without the caffeine. And you know,
Right.
And maybe it's my 80-year-old body, but I do sleep kind of curled up. You know,
Do
and
you?
so I get up in the morning, you know, I'm kind of a little,
Yes.
1 minute on inversion. I am straight, standing tall, my head's on top of my shoulders, and I am wide awake.
So how is that? I mean, I'm always fascinated by that because you're right. It's like, or whether is it just reminding your mind that you need to correct your posture, or it's fascinating.
It's fascinating. Well, actually, you could ask my daughter. She's told me many times.
Tell me, Miss Riley.
that she couldn't have got through the university if she didn't invert 5 minutes for every 2 hours of study, because it clears the...
Well, it's so hard on your body sitting. I mean, you remember
Right.
that animation earlier. You don't even have to watch that to know how crammed up your body gets, especially
Right.
when you're stressed as
Right.
well and sitting
Right.
and studying.
Right.
And so I would take a break and invert, and it does, it perks up the mind, and through the realignment, it fixes the posture that we're kind of creeping into from sitting and studying. You know, the shoulders forward, the head forward.
Oh, yeah.
And that's really what I use it for today, is I started noticing I was really getting the tech neck. I really was experiencing that postural change, and I went, oh no.
No, this is not happening. I
Yeah,
understand.
it's not attractive, and honestly, it doesn't feel good either. And so I get on it at the very end of the day. It's the last thing I do. My teeth are brushed, my jammies are on, and I jump on it, and 3 to 5 minutes, I take some deep breaths, and people might have seen me kind of oscillating, going back and forth, rocking. That relaxes everything. I will use I pop the entire spine, pop, pop, pop. I feel it.
Oh,
you hear it.
I just heard it. Yeah. I get that.
And you jump into bed, and it's like you just got out of a massage. You just got out of adjustment. You have that warm, tingly feeling in your back.
The complete relaxation.
The difference in the time it takes me to fall asleep if I use the inversion table before bed versus if I don't, like, you know, now I'm in a hotel room, I'm like, oh, you know, it makes a big difference.
It makes a huge difference. And for any of our viewers out there, I just want to say that this, Roger's and Riley have been here over the last couple of days, but this is it. I mean, this is the last day of a visit. So if you are someone who's been going to .com, you've read the reviews, you've done your comparison shopping, because this is where we really have to compare features to understand what makes the FitSpine different and how there's nothing like it out in the retail market. Or maybe you're thinking, gosh, should I, shouldn't I? We're here to tell you, do your body, do yourself, do your life a favor, and just make the purchase. You know, we sell a lot of amazing things here at HSN, you know, great electronics, fabulous jewelry, clothes, whatever, but it's how you feel every day of your life. It's how you feel when you get up in the morning. And we all know, I always say that when you get up in the morning, you know, whatever you look in the mirror and see, and whatever you feel really is your barometer for the day. Do something great for yourself and read those reviews. You know, and when there's 277 out of 334 reviews, 277 are perfect 5-star reviews, and that no other, I mean, we've never in 21 years, because this, when we talk about this year, is 21 years, longest running piece of fitness equipment here at HSN. That says a lot. And I think, oh, Sana, she did call. Thank you for calling us, Sana. It's a pleasure to have you with us, and you're with Bobby and Roger today.
Well, hello. I'm so happy to reach you guys, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you, because this Teeter helped me a lot, and I am kind of person that always have a back pain, especially when it gets humid. And, you know, when I get into Teeter for 15 to 20 minutes, it helps me. You guys saved my life.
Yes! Oh, yay! That is so great to hear. And thank you so much for calling to tell us that, Sana, because, you know, we can be here to tell everyone about it and what's different, but, you know, you have it. So you're living the difference on a daily basis.
Well, I'll recommend for everybody who complains about back pain, you start slowly, but it comes to a point that you feel like you're thirsty to go back on it and fix your problem.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Absolutely. All right, well, thank you.
Nice seeing you all, and thank you very much.
Thank you so
for
much.
calling in.
It's such a pleasure.
It's those testimonies that are really my pay. You know, seriously, at 80 years, my daughter's running the business. She's handling, she and her husband are doing everything. My job, TV, infomercial, and playing with the grandkids. That's a full-time job, actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say, exactly. So I'm gonna can we start from the beginning, the top to the beginning? Or, I mean, that is the beginning, the top, right? From the top to the bottom, we'll go through so we can walk you through all of the features, show you, you know, exactly how you use it, and let you know, listen, today, it is $120 off. And we're gonna start with the 4 key defining features that make this unique, unlike any other unit out there.
Teeter is the only brand that is FDA registered as a Class 1 medical device, and Teeter is indicated for the following 10 causes, some of them very serious, of back pain, sciatica, that's a pinched nerve, spinal degenerative joint disease, that's the same as osteoarthritis, just a different name, spinal curvature due to tight muscles, muscle tension, herniated disc, that's a big one. Degenerative disc disease, spinal stenosis, facet syndrome, and muscle spasms. You know, and Teeter deals with all 4 of those, even though they're caused by a variety of things, because Teeter deals with back pain 4 different ways. The big one is decompression, elongating the body, taking the pressure off a pinched nerve or degenerative disc. When you decompress, if there's a misalignment, it's encouraged to realign. The spine will straighten out. the muscles are stretched and relaxed. That can be a cause of back pain. And the discs are rejuvenated, and they pick up moisture and become more hydrated, so they're actually thicker, and you have more clearance for the nerves that the disc control.
Makes sense.
So, yeah, this is just straightforward. Most all back problems are actually mechanical. It's gravity combined with your lifestyle, body posture, various activities. And so they're really mechanical problems. This is a mechanical fix for mechanical problems.
Exactly. 85% assembled,
Okay.
by the way. Also, 5-year warranty, which we love as well.
Exactly. Okay, features. Well, the big thing is that this FlexTech bed. See, this bed has been lifted off. That's why we renamed it, all new colors, big engineering job. The bed used to be mounted on this steel frame directly, but that made it hard, you know, and it wasn't as comfortable. Well, you cannot put foam on an inversion table because it stops the sliding and the decompression. So what we did is lift the bed off 3 inches and mounted it on 8 points with small rubber balls. So you have 8-point floating suspension, and it moves with you. I mean, on upper bed, the lower bed, you sink into it. The Easy Reach handle, that was designed for our clinical use because people going to clinics have back pain, but you do too. So Easy Reach handle, micro adjustments. These foot pads are the most comfortable. 3 generations of tooling to get it right. We've got the hard backing, which is for security, but then there's a 1/2 inch of foam ergonomically shaped that will ratchet and fit to your particular personal ankle dimensions. This is for small shoes, big shoes, just flip it around. Adjustable from 4'8" to 6'6". Your height in inches and centimeters is right here in the main shaft. This strap, which allows you to preset maximum angle. You know, Bobby Ray was using it. And this is a perfectly good angle to start at. In fact, if it's stress you're talking about, you don't need to go beyond this angle. If you've got a herniated disc or you know, sciatica, something really serious, you're going to want extra traction from what this angle will give you. You have 2 choices. Use the traction handles and use mechanical arm power to decompress your body further as though you were in full inversion, or you can take the strap off and kind of work up to about this angle, because that's kind of the magic angle where your own body weight is sufficient to be able to decompress the body that 1 to 2 inches. All right, so, and this pivot point, it's adjusted, so the idea is get that center of mass.
Okay.
And 80% of you balance right on your height, but if you might have to adjust it 1 inch or 2, depending on your own personal weight distribution. But the real test is, you see how the bed just lifts off?
Right.
My arms are at my side. Well, now I can control it really with the weight of just 1 arm back and forth. And these oversized handles, these are like training wheels on a bicycle. You can walk yourself back with that, or have 1 hand on the handles and use the weight of the arm to actually rotate. Use the traction handles, or maybe work up to this angle. This is the magic angle. You'll know you're there because there's a grip here, and you can pull on this grip to further lengthen your body.
Look
or just shove your self into shape. Again, full inversion, you don't need to go here. But believe it or not, by actual survey, 50% of regular invertees do go to full inversion. And you think, how could you ever get comfortable with that? You do. You're as comfortable as being at your desk once your body remembers what it was like the 6 months or 6 weeks before you were born when you were upside down. So it's kind of a retraining, you know. So flexibility, you know, inverted squats, crunches, you know. Oh, I want to show something. Traction handles. There's lots of ways to get out of this lock. You know, you can just pull it like this. It's all in the DVD. But if you have traction handles and it's properly balanced, I just push on the end of the handle, and it's a push button release out of the inverted lock position.
That's a great tip. So I know we have only like about 4 minutes remaining. We want to share with you some more great testimonials. But remember, this is the day to do it, and great value here at HSN. 6 FlexPay, and you always have 30 days. Here we go.
I'm an iron worker. I've been an iron worker for 34 years now, and from when I first started, I had a bad back. When you have a bad back, you're limited. I tried everything. I got on the teeter, and then I just got upside down, and I stretched out, and the first time I twisted, I felt like this is something right here. I felt it like just alleviating, just stretching. Now I can go out, I can go play basketball, go walking with the kids. It doesn't matter, because I'm already stretched out. I'm limber. This is the best investment I ever made on my back. I'm a new person. That's what I came to be. I'm a new person. That's how I feel.
When I was in pain, walking was difficult, let alone riding. I mean, there's a lot of responsibility here. It's not just about me, it's about the upkeep of the ranch. If my back's out, the work's not gonna get done. Teeter's changed my life because it's allowed me to enjoy what I've worked so hard to build here and not be in pain or not be sore by the end of the day. Having the teeter in your house is just so easy. It really is, again, about stretching out the entire body. That's where I feel. I feel in the entire body. It's stretched out those hip flexors. It's a woo-saw moment. It really is. It's a release of all that tension. It's a release of the day. And then you get up and it's like, okay, now it's time to go to bed. I'm ready. I am thrilled that I got a teeter. And for that person out there who's like, well, I don't know, make the commitment and you'll see a difference. You will absolutely see a difference.
We agree, we agree, we agree. And this is like the last day. So I know, Roger, we have one more show coming up a little bit later on. But as I said before, if you've thought about it, you've been on the fence, we're going to tell you as your friends, just do it, right, Roger?
Look, you can't live on this planet more than 20 years and not know what gravity is doing to you. It's pulling everything south, you know?
Right.
Teeter is a way to get your body shape back, to get that youthful function so you move youthfully, better posture, things you can see in the mirror. But the big deal, of course, is getting rid of that back pain, improving flexibility, the ability to be active and to do the things that you love to do, to get down on the floor and play with the kids, to do the gardening. For my case, going water skiing,
skiing.
And that's what life should be.
Absolutely.
And Teeter will help you get that flexibility and function back.
So Mary has one question, and I know the answer to this one. Does it help with all your joints, especially hips?
Absolutely. It's all weight-bearing joints. I mean, when you invert, it's ankles, knees, hips, all the joints of the back, small. Look at it this way. These little tiny, let me get Spiny out here. We're running out of time.
Yeah, we have about a minute. Sure. The Atlas. Aren't those the
small
Atlas
joints here, all they got to do is hold the weight of your head. Well, the weight of your head is the perfect weight to decompress those joints. Look at these big fellas. 60% of your body weight is above here, but that's just the right amount to decompress them. Your knees, ankles, hips, it's all the same thing. And it lines your body up. You've been sitting like this or high heels like that. When you invert, your body lines up in perfect posture, everything lining up.
Exactly. So it's feeling better, getting back your flexibility and mobility, dealing with back pain that we know millions and millions of people in this country deal with. And like I said, quality of life, too.